The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Arizona, Daytona, Ramona, or even Verona. We like to come to you this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we got pretty much everything we got back. I was actually talking to one of my subscribers yesterday, and I said, no stimulus and the market went down 1%. That tells me you probably want to be long this market. That's everything you need to know. And again, more argument about whether we're going to send checks to people. I don't know if the market just figures that they will eventually fold and send a $1,200 check. But my guess is if the argument on the evening news is nothing opposed to sending you a $1,200 check, the $1,200 check is going to win on most of those. So pretty good bargaining position. So we'll see. I don't know if the market just doesn't care anymore about stimulus or as much about stimulus, but the options didn't close that bad yesterday. They were good, pretty good this morning. In fact, as soon as the market started opening, they looked decent for me. I started buying some calls. And I'll look at some other positions. Other things going on in the market, we'll be looking at some stocks in a very specific sector. So that will be good. Other things going on, the volume up and down, it doesn't really matter. Both are not any good. So you're not getting a real clue on a big move higher or lower. 5.4 billion shares so far on the move higher today. But it's the same thing. You just didn't get anything on the way down. You should have been in the 12 to 15 billion shares if the market had rolled over, and it has not. Really looks like this market's just going to continue to try to stumble all the way up into the election. See, you can give me an email at path@tfnn.com. Of course, you can actually call me. How bizarre. Actually talk to a human. 877-927-6648. And talk to me. I'll have plenty of time today. As I said earlier, very light volume up and down. That continues. Today is options delta neutral day. It is always hedging your bets so that no matter what happens between now and the 16th for options that expire up to the 16th of October, the option market makers have a very small problem if the markets turn against their positions. Generally, they're pretty good about having options out for 45, 60, 90 days. But when that time frame actually does finally come up, they want to be able to, the last 7 days, it's just a killer. There's no premium. If you buy something out of the money for nothing, you may have to pay somebody else a ton. So the idea is you just buy the other side of it, try to keep up with it. And a lot of the volume in markets each day is just that. They're just laddering. laddering, laddering in and out of the market as the prices change on the underlying vehicle. But options look good. They think, 8 out of 10 options expirations from the delta neutral day to expiration are positive by a significant amount, percent and a quarter. So you've got to have a very compelling reason that the market's going to roll over now. I will give you a very good and compelling reason that it won't. At worst, I suspect we go sideways. At best, Apple has a very good presentation next Tuesday. And if you can't take Apple out, you probably can't take out the indexes. That's kind of my opinion now. So maybe you do nothing. Maybe you think the market goes higher, or at least the broad indexes. Great deal of them are not participating. I'm not going to deny that. We're going to look at some stocks that are participating today, and by a huge margin, huge. And we'll talk about why, and we'll talk about stocks that are like it. So maybe you can go finding somewhere else to fish in ponds just the same everywhere else. In fact, I don't know if I even got there were like 3 things in the history today. None of them I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to forget history in the history segment. It may repeat, but not repeating it today. What can you say? As I said yesterday, the only thing I was interested in is you really need to start understanding everything going on in the antitrust and monopolies issue. This is coming back directly after the election. There are going to be more hearings in November, no matter what happens. And we'll see. Of course, I think, when is it, Thursday? I'm going to have to look now. It's either tomorrow or Thursday that they subpoenaed the CEOs. So you can't go run away, especially the chicken from Twitter, who was going to go hide out in Africa all summer, saying he couldn't come back and testify about his evil doings because he was feeding the poor. Well, that didn't work out, so they caught him, subpoenaed him. He will have to stand tall before the man in the next few days. I don't know what day it is exactly, but these guys are going to have a hard time. I had a question about what I was talking about with Google. Google bought, and this is the biggest problem they have, Google bought a company called DoubleClick. Some folks may remember it. They promised Congress that they would not mingle all the stuff between DoubleClick and their own search engine. And the CEO the current one came in 2016, said that he wouldn't mingle it, and within 9 months had mingled it all up. So liar, liar, pants on fire, filthy, vile weasel, CEO. Mostly I don't care about what they do on the finance front. But if they violate free speech or lie to Congress, I kind of think that if they'll do that, they'll do things a lot worse to us. So I'm not a big fan of those guys at Google and haven't been for a while. Facebook, not much better. In fact, anybody know who John Stossel is? He's got his own kind of little network running now. And he put something on Facebook. And because the people in some bizarre, extreme nuttiness, global warming sect, I'm going to just call them a cult, didn't like one little sentence they had, he was excommunicated on Facebook. Facebook, a lot of those things, doesn't even say what you can and can't say. They farm it out to some nutcase who tells you what you can and cannot say on Facebook, and they'll get rid of you or unperson you, if you're familiar with the book 1984. Scary that it's, in my lifetime, come to pass that 1984 is actually here. We'll be back.
Currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And where are we at here? Okay. Okay. Wait, did I lose it here? I know we have somebody on the line, but maybe I'm just so blind I cannot see it. I didn't forget Mike in Daytona. I just can't see where it's in here. Hello, Mike in Daytona.
Hey, Dave. This is Mike from Daytona and not Ramona. And
okay.
I got a question. Towards the beginning of your show, you were saying that you think that the market might just stumble up until the election. And is there a particular sector you can see that may have a much bigger gain than others? I mean, I'm looking at, like just kind of looking around, like the oil sector is beaten down pretty good. Banking,
that looks
what's your opinion?
Energy looks really good to me over the last few days. I really like the numbers, the way they are coming back in the cotton patch. And there is something I wanted to read to you today that I think it just blew my mind when I read it. Hopefully I can find it here. Give me a second, because I was going to read it, but okay. According to reports, U.S. share of the Chinese oil import market climbed from 0.4% in January to 7% at the end of September. We are selling a ton of oil to the Chinese.
Okay.
So that's telling me, one, that we're selling it, and two, we can actually produce it and make a profit that someone wants to take in the oil patch. But last two Baker Hughes rig count numbers have been very good, but the EIA numbers haven't reflected anything. Till I saw this last night or this morning, I was stumped on how all those numbers could add up. Where was the extra demand coming, since it wasn't being pushed in the United States? And I thought, well, maybe, could we be selling it to Canada or Mexico? No, we're actually a big exporter, and it's getting more. So the XLE hasn't done much. It's been beaten up, but I think you're probably fairly close to some level that looks good. I'm thinking that we're about the sweet spot for natural gas to go higher. I don't think it goes massively higher like it has in previous winters, but I think it could be a good trade. But yeah, that 28.20, probably not a bad place if you got back there to maybe go after the XLE or some other ones. Maybe you don't get back there, but I like that sector. It is hugely washed out. And the only thing I dislike about this is that it's probably going to take some time to consolidate, so maybe another month. Because the energy off the high from August 11th was just too much. Between now and the election, or are you thinking between now and the end of the year?
Either one. The way I've been trading lately is I've been mostly intraday trading with all the volatility we have, and I keep a fairly tight leash on everything. And I myself, I'm very flexible. I can get in and out very fast or something. So,
yeah, I've said that for the last week or so, and that is that I don't think I'd want to be in more than 4 hours. Finally found some stuff this morning. Had a nice options trade on Friday in the newsletter, but that's not a bad thing. I think I found some at least a decent position to go through now, maybe through the election in the technology sector. But I'm probably, if I'm going to be in technology, which I probably will do now, will be very good between now and the election. You probably don't want to be in those stocks like Facebook, Google, and Twitter. Mostly for the fact that these guys are probably going to get broken up, and any kind of weakness in the market, if we're wrong, if it's not market decides to take a what do they call it, a dive, those are going to be probably the worst hit because they know things are only going to get worse from now on. Both sides of the aisle, for different reasons, all think that a lot of these companies should be split up. So, to me, if you don't have exposure to social networks, semiconductors, software companies that don't have anything to do with politics, or what's right and wrong, people that are tending to their business, I think can all do fairly well. I think the problem, though, is that a lot of these companies, like Netflix, in fact, we didn't even get to that. I mean, those guys got indicted for child porn today. So, it's not like these guys decided that they were going to take the easy road. As my dad said, when you're walking on eggs, don't hop. And all these guys can do is get a pogo stick. So I'm not really thinking that much that I want to be in any of those big names that have a big headline political risk. But I think a lot of the other ones out there, semiconductors, NVIDIA for this fall, I don't think I would buy it. I do think that there's some companies that make products that they buy to go in their products. So maybe getting along the food chain in NVIDIA, I think is still going to be a good play here for the next 3-6 months. But there's a lot of stuff out there. Software, like I said, as long as it doesn't have some kind of social media headline risk, because I think that's cruising for a bruising.
Okay. Well, I always appreciate your opinion and everything you've taught us throughout the years, Dave, so thanks again.
You bet. And if you are trading intraday, the last half of this show is going to be about stocks that have massive, thanks for the call, by the way, have some massive short interest and days to cover. The reason I'm bringing that up is that a lot of other people ask me. I've tried for the longest time here with 3D systems to play it. I knew this is exactly the pattern that I liked. It went kind of broke. I basically sold it before it took the dive. I did not get back into it in the last couple of days. Some people called and asked. I didn't see anything quite yet. Now, the reason that 3D Systems is up is Tesla ran an ad for some 3D machines or something. I don't know how long this lasts. To me, the issue here is 20 days to cover. That means if just the shorts want to get out of this stock, it will take them 20 days. I think it's 35% short interest. Anyway,
Okay.
The rest of the show, thanks. The rest of the show, we're going to be looking at these stocks with massive short sells. These are the ones you want to be watching for the huge rips like we've had today in DDD.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of
And we're back, and again, we'll go through as many as we can the next couple of segments. These stocks all have 10 days to cover. That means that if just the shorts wanted to get out, and every day was the volume of the average of the last 30, it would take them 10 days or more to get out. I think DDD had 20 days to cover, which is why the reason I went after it. Eventually, as the Bonnie Tyler song says, you're in a powder keg and giving off sparks. All it takes is one like DDD had. So other stocks in that vein, if you want to keep a close eye on ones like this, ADT, monstrous short numbers, going sideways here for a little while. Now, does it take a dip like DDD before it decides to run back higher? Don't know, but my guess is 10, maybe 10.50 in the cards for this. So just keep a close eye on it. But I like it when these things they tend to go higher after about 7 to 10 days. You're pretty close on ADT. Let's see what else we have out here. Okay. Abel Marley, not the beat up stock, but still massively short. Looks like it's going to go test the 101 high that we had not too long ago, that September 18th. AMRS, which is Ameris, it's a biotech. I tend less to jump on biotech stocks that have high short interest, but this one's kind of filled the gap. AON, which is Ordinary Shores of AON, just kind of going sideways here at about 208. Now, generally, this is where I start looking at these and then looking at the options since it's delta neutral today, and try to put together these stocks with super high short interest and Albemarle, who knows? Anyway, we're back up to resistance level. Tonight, I'll look and see if these things have decent option positions. We'll see if there isn't anything in there that the options are telling us that they're going to run all the shorts out over the next few days going into options expiration. Al Bob Marley, that's what we need to do. I'm going to just call it the Al Bob Marley stock from now on. Atera Biotherapeutics, ATRA. I don't see much in this way on the way up and the way down. AVYA, which is Avaya Holdings. This thing's back up into a long-term resistance level. Here, let's see if we got. Did we get? Not exactly sure what happened there. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay. Come on. I don't know what's gone on here with it. We'll go on. Brookfield Asset Management. This one, very interesting. It's a $35 stock going up against resistance in this gap down. Let's see if we have anything else. BPY. Brookfield Property Management. A lot of these real estate stocks don't look half bad, other than the fact they're light volume, but the whole market's that way. Brookfield Property, $13.57. That was the June 8th high. We're into that with 1.55 million, 1.5 million shares so far today. But you know what? A lot of times these things will come up, and then they'll just, as they say, jump the creek. You got some pretty nice gaps up there, $15, $16 range. Again, I like to put these together with option plays. So you got to find one at the right strike, or a lot of them the same at the right strike. Checkpoint Software, another massive short sell number in this thing today. Is basically done its 50% retracement. Let's get this. 122.94 was 50% retracement off this high. And of course, you got some big days down with about 2 million shares. Not much in the way of the volume here. So again, you got to be pretty careful on these. I like the ones that were like DDD and ADT. I like them to go sideways for a while to start getting things start setting up. A lot of these are at the previous highs. Let's take a see. Everything's going to be all right. Okay. Deutsche Bank. This one did jump the gap, which is kind of amazing. The gap back here from the 21st of September down on 12.8 million shares. Never really blew through that with volume, but still holding its high. As we said, DDD was on my list. again, a lot of the reasons why I liked it but couldn't hold it, I didn't want to go through this breakdown, is this big, long sideways move in the market. I could have bought or held, but I just didn't get back into it soon enough. Other stocks, 8x8. This is a big voice over internet protocol thing. It's been around forever, but not much in it. See, ELY. We're going into Christmas. I'm wondering how, especially with COVID and stuff next year, golf course is pretty much open. Getting out, I'm just thinking. And two, basketball numbers horrifically bad on TV. No one's watching them apparently. Only slightly better for the NFL. No one wants to be around those guys either. But guess what? Boffo numbers for golf. I keep a close eye on it, especially with the massive short sell numbers in this. Yeah, everybody's out. That's one thing that's going to probably benefit for years to come, don't you think? People being able to get out, not be told off. They have to put on a mask or anything. They can go out and do anything they want. Exact Sciences. This one's at its high, and it's got a ton of volume. Could break out if it had the right persuasion. 110.26 a couple of days ago. It has broken above the January 10th high. That was 105.56. You did not, you went up there, you had a lighter volume. You did not back off. And, of course, this all started with a massive sign of strength back on the 24th of September. Now, on this one, if you're lucky enough, there is a great confluence level that bottoms out about $86. I don't know if you ever get it back there, or if you want it, if it did, but that's where support comes in. So if you wake up and the world gets nuked, you can kind of look at that as the low end of your loss. Or the high end? Don't know. FOLD, Amicus Therapeutics, not doing much out here, but we're looking for gems. Genron, GERN. This actually doesn't look too bad. It, too, is back up here around the September 1st high. Volume a little lighter, 2.5 million shares. By the end of the day, could we get 3.5? We could. Massive short sells are what we're working on today. Be back in a minute.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Other stocks that are interesting. I know I had somebody email me about GameStop, and I think it was this candle here back on the 16th. It continued up to 1117. Not much of a company, but guess what? I think at the time these guys had 25 days to cover, and you get in a short squeeze, there isn't much. Don't see a play right here, but somewhere around 834 on light volume, which it's got as it comes back. This thing's still got a ton of shorts in it. And people shorting it over the last week, even after it ran. I think you may get a secondary squeeze out of that yet, too. Hormel Foods, why in the world would you short spam? Don't know why you would. Anyway, hit Confluence support, kind of going sideways out here. I just don't think it could move fast enough to get me interested, but massive short selling in it. Iron Mountain, this one has a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous confluence level from 26.20, 626 to 26.31. Tried to pierce it, bounced off of it. I like the business. I'm not exactly sure why it's not doing well, but another one with like 10 days to cover. You had some nice moves up here. I think it's okay. I think if you got any kind of decent move, you may not make a mint if it gets to $28. But my thought is if you get any of these short squeezes moving, maybe you get the huge move. Ironwood Pharmaceuticals also. Don't see a lot in this one other than a lot of the volume back here at the lows. You had some massive stuff, so I'd probably stay out of it for that reason. Knight Swift. This is, of course, the transportation company. You did come down with a little bit more energy. You weren't really able to break the lows as much. I'd want this thing to close above 41.77 for a couple of days. You're at 41.58 now. If you could get another couple of days for this thing to go out sideways, this one may make it back up to 47.44 side. Of course, all about moving stuff here and there. MAC. Kind of not a bad looking bounce. I'd like to pull back, make it a play. But again, if you tuned in late, all these stocks have at least 10 days to cover, and some of them as much as 20. So if you're looking for things to trade intraday that maybe start to get going, you got to know that these are the stocks that could move quickly as the shorts decide to get out of Dodge in a hurry. Anyway, a nice move up. You had a little bit of volume back on the second. If you could get back into about the $7 range and volume's light, that may be a place to take a look at it. Myrid Genetics, another one that I do like. And again, I wish it would go a little bit more sideways. It's bouncing a couple of bucks, and maybe that's all you're ever going to get in a biotech. It's never going to be flat as a pancake. By the way, great album by Head East. Flat as a pancake. You're in this trading range. I don't see a lot that says you break out or break down, but if you keep a close eye on that one, if it starts moving again, you got tons of shorts that have to get out. Nielsen Holding Company, NLSN, did have a successful test of the June 26th low. That's 1370 at a little less than $7. Got down to 1330, closed back in the trading range. Not a big bounce so far, but generally until those shorts get out of this thing, downside is probably limited. New York Times, probably there's a reason to be short that. I guess a lot of these newspapers are probably going to go out of business right after the election, my guess. No one will be interested in it at all. Pitney Bowes, you got stamps.com. Pitney Bowes still in that business. Again, people have been shorting the living daylights out of this one for a while. You came up with a good sign of strength. Back here under $5, that would have probably been a fairly decent buy. It's at $6 now, but not a lot of juice either way. SPEC, Prospect Capital. I don't see anything in that. SBH. Yeah, they probably are right until it goes bankrupt. I don't think anybody is going to, after the election, I don't think anybody's going to care. Generally, that's the problem with those newspapers is there'll be something that everybody cares about, and then they don't care. Sally Beauty. Now, here's one that I think could be a nice squeezer. Where am I at here? Let me pop this up. Man, we're doing well, aren't we? Up 60 points on the S&P 500. Yesterday, like it never even happened, up 540 on the Dow. Nasdaq's up 205. So not much happening there at the moment, but good thing. Okay. Anyway, back to Sally Beauty. This bounced. It's kind of gone sideways out here. I would like to see this thing at about $9. So you don't have much to look at that one. But at this point, there may just be too many shorts for it to go down at all, unless the end of the world occurs. Tangier Factory Outlet. Now, how many people are driving across the country this fall? These are the guys that have all the malls in between the place. Maybe next year. But again, I wouldn't be short these things. 10 days, all it takes is one article like we saw with DDD today, and you get even stocks like Stratasys up out of the mire. This one's pretty nice today. Again, these 3D companies have had massive short sell numbers. I think Stratasys had 15 days to cover. TDC, can it get hit? Okay, Teradata. This one is really sweet right here. Massive shorts and a dynamite looking chart. You gapped up with a sign of strength on the, to August 7th. You've been pulling back since then. You're basically filling that gap at this point with, about 1 million shares. What did you have yesterday? 1 million shares today, about 265,000 shares. So not much, and you've got all those shorts on the other side. Teradata, of course, a tech company. But, you start seeing something like this move intraday, you want to cop on it quick if you're seeing the volume start to build. Those shorts will get out of the way if the price goes against them. Another one that kind of had its first bounce in the similar vein, Trinity Industries, TRN. It's come back filling the gap of May 18th. That was 1.3 million shares on the way up. Tested it with 950,000 shares, bounced a little bit. Any little pullbacks on this one looked like it could have a nice bounce out of it. We'll be back right after this.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And before we go out here, a question about Netflix. It's up on light volume. And maybe it retests this high. You're going into fall, maybe everybody will keep Netflix up for a little while. I continue to worry about what's going to happen when they can't deliver new product, which is going to be coming along anytime now. Question about AMD also from Richard. So we'll take a quick look at that, if I can actually tape correctly. Yeah, I wouldn't be short this, even though it doesn't look that great. They've got another week or two. They're going to have their dog and pony for their new products, and they'll probably get a lot of people jumping up and down. I wouldn't be short it. Like I said, I don't know if there's a whole lot more above it. It's pretty much at resistance now. Any idea on Datadog? This thing just has some wild swings. If you're looking for something to trade in today, this thing does seem to be one of the nice ones with some nice moves intraday. You had a nice sign of strength back on the 30th of September, just kind of going sideways now, a little bit higher. If you get something that starts down tomorrow, it's problematic. I would love, if you're not in this already, if it gets back to 100 on light volume, then take another look at it. Question on TLT. The thing on this one is that the options really just don't show much other than this thing's in a trading range. If that changes tonight, then so be it. I'll change my opinion. But last night, this thing just shows that by next Friday, big likelihood that this is 163. So I know you gap down, you come back in, but I just think you're going to meander your way back up into 163-ish by a week from this Friday. So when you can, not when you have to, and we will.